So let's start the news from the Bunafri region, where the lack of incubators at the Kintampo South District Hospital has compelled authorities there to improvise with some 100-watt incandescent bulbs. Now, the health facility, which currently serves the over 8,000-strong population of the district, also lacks basic hospital logistics. The absence of a fence wall, for example, around the facility is also said to have left the workers and patients vulnerable to attacks from burglars. We have JoyNews Anna Sabit visiting the hospital and bringing us up to date with the latest.
Health is important and access to health care is a basic human right. But the lack of basic hospital logistics is hindering proper healthcare delivery at the Kintampo South District Hospital. The institution, which serves the over 80,000 people per the 2010 Housing and Population Census, has no single incubator at the hospital's neonatal intensive care unit to provide warmth and maintain temperatures of newly born premature babies. This, according to hospital authorities, is seriously affecting healthcare delivery in the district. Tabia Erica is a staff midwife at the Kintampo South Hospital.
We lack many logistics, such as the incubators, the phototherapy, pulse oximeter, and our space here is not adequate. Yes, it's inadequate. So sometimes when we have more babies to admit, we can't because we just have 5 baby scots. Yes, and we can't manage severe cases here because we lack these things.
The absence of incubators is not the only challenge facing the Kintampo South District Hospital. Mr. Ichampon Bidiakon is the administrator of the institution.
Lack of a fence wall. We get into this day in, day out, disturbing clients and staff. At the same time, we need an ambulance to be supporting us in our referral cases. As you are aware, the Assembly has awarded us with a 30-bed capacity maternity ward with a NICU department. We also require that after the completion of the structure, the furnishing should be as possible, immediate as possible, so that we can start using the place to help the mothers who come and access healthcare here.
District Chief Executive for the area, Mr. Alexander Jain, disclosed to JoyNews that the Assembly has awarded a contract to build a modern maternity ward for the hospital.
Things have been put in place, and we are having some NGOs who are ready to support us. Hopefully, they've promised us getting the things for us by the end of this year. And that project that you saw today is also they are going to finish it by the end of this year, December. And we are going to commission this project December.
Reporting for JoyNews, Anas Sabit, Jema.
Now, back here in Accra, the National Biosafety Authority says it has put in place the necessary checks and balances to ensure the safe application of genetic modification technology to food production here in Ghana. Speaking at the Ask About GMOs Forum in Accra, the authority said human as well as technical capacities have been built to ensure that Ghana optimizes the gains from such crops. Joseph Opoku Gakpo was there. This is what he learned.
The Ask About GMOs Forum, organized by Alliance for Science Ghana, brought together various stakeholders in the sector for a face-to-face conversation with the authority on Ghana's plans to commercialize GMOs. Coordinator of the Open Forum on Agri-Biotechnology, Dr. Richard Ampedu, disclosed plans are underway to commercialize GMO cowpea.
Now I think we are in the process of coming out with the new seed. But of course, it is not just going to be like releasing any other seed developed by the traditional method because of the questions that people are raising. So I'm sure a committee will be formed, and then once it's ready, it will be released.
Executive member of Alliance for Science Ghana, Sylvia Teria Tete, told the forum there is evidence from the world over that GMO is a beneficial technology to farmers.
I will end by reaffirming our confidence at Alliance for Science Ghana in the assurance that scientists all over the world have given repeatedly that GMOs are safe, and that it is very crucial that can help revolutionize Ghana's agricultural sector.
2009 National Best Farmer Davis Kobo said farmers face a lot of challenges in their work that require advanced technology to fix.
Currently, we are being enslaved, because if we are buying the GMO oils and others, then economically we are creating a lot of foreign exchange for them, whilst we are lacking. So I think that the authorities should up their game.
CEO of the Biosafety Authority, Eric Okori, says Ghana currently has the requisite capacity to regulate GMOs.
What we have done is to strengthen ourselves. You can see we have our office, we have our staff, we have MOUs with some regulatory institutions to get ourselves ready to do the risk assessment and ensure that any GMO will be safe for the public.
Students, journalists, and farmers participated.
Meanwhile, the Dean of Doha Open University, Aziz Bako, has kicked against the plans to commercialize GMOs.
I feel we are heading to food slavery. That's my view. I feel we are heading to food slavery because genetic alteration. The big man here said to us that the way the climate is going, our seeds are not able to function, and etc. Yeah, I agree to an extent, but I think we are heading to food slavery because we have looked deep into the games and gimmicks of the bigger corporations and pharma industries that are propagating this thing. So I think Ghana will have to look at it again, because what I'm hearing right now is a little below the line for me. I would like an upgrade of what I'm hearing right now, because I've been looking at this thing for very many years, very, very many years.
Now let's take you to the Ashanti region. Some residents of the capital, Kumasi, who have been without water for close to a month, will have to wait for another week to see whether their taps will be flowing with water. The Ijam, the Obom, as well as Bomso and Idiasi suburbs have endured an acute water shortage as a result of what the Ghana Water Company says is a damage to one of its major pipelines. Love News' Kwesi Debra is reporting that residents have had to depend on tanker supplies from the Ghana Water Company for domestic and commercial use.
Na is a kinky seller. She has to manage with just a quarter full pan of water to prepare her fish. It's lasted for too long. We've never seen such a thing before. It was flowing, but suddenly it cut. For about 2 weeks now, we don't have water. Chakusela Antiabana uses water only for household chores, and she hasn't been spared the burden of looking beyond her surroundings for supply. It's been very difficult finding water, she says. Sometimes you would have to join a long queue. Contingency measures put in place by the utility provider bring some respite. Asmenis Kipio is district manager.
100, about 107 trips specifically. But after the supply, people are still coming. That is September. October, we are still supplying them. We haven't ended yet. Until we are able to open the water, we'll be able to stabilize the flow, and everybody's enjoying.
Repair work on the broken line has delayed, due largely to persistent downpour, accompanied by collections of huge volumes of solid waste. Ashanti Regional Public Relations Officer, Ose Ampa, says infrastructural work has been completed pending testing for supply to affected communities. Mr. Ampa is confident supplies will resume next week.
From this background, the main pipeline, the 16-inch steel pipe, has been relocated completely from the previous position, and currently, as we speak now, the disinfection work is completed. What we are waiting for is to allow the concrete works to cure. Once that is done, we'll be able to test the line, and gradually after the test, we'll be able to open the line and supply our customers, as you can see from the background. The engineers have worked very tirelessly, I must say. It's not been easy, but we thank you also, the media, for the support given us, helping our customers to see exactly what is going on the ground. And then we also want to thank our customers for being patient with us all this while.
For JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
Now, in a mass casualty incident simulation, an ambulance transporting a patient collides with a commercial van and another saloon car. Chemical spillage makes the accident spot unsafe for rescue operation, even when emergency signal suggests over 40 people are trapped in the wreckage. How will medical personnel respond to such a situation? Nana Yaojima witnessed a simulation exercise on emergency at the Kompanochi Teaching Hospital, and here is what he filed.
With a snow code app, a drone is deployed to the scene to assess the area and plan a response. In less than 5 minutes, a waiting medical, fire service and other security team receive pictures and videos of the scene. Per intelligence received, the area of the spillage is marked dangerous and cordoned off to medical personnel. Standby medical teams are stationed in groups, waiting for action signal. The first team leads the rescue, sorting victims according to level of injury. In the process known as charging, victims are marked with red, yellow, green and black ribbons after diagnosis. A team of lifters pick victims depending on their conditions and hand them over to the medical teams on the field for attention. After their conditions are stabilized, victims are transported by ambulance to the nearest health facility with the aid of the snow code, which detects empty spaces in other facilities. Despite security deployment, curious members of the public invade the scene and cause disruption of rescue efforts. Emergency services call for a press conference to update the public on the situation and appeal for people to stay off the area.
So now we are started transporting casualties to these various hospitals so that they can receive definite care at those areas. And as of now, we are waiting for ECG and fire service to come and declare the site to the filling station is not safe. So we are waiting for fire service to come down to come and declare the place safe for us. So we are praying that those who are driving toward those lanes should use a different route so that they will not get into the place to cause more harm to themselves. This is what we are praying the public to know of. Thank you very much.
Despite the public appeal, security personnel are overwhelmed by the increasing numbers, even in a restricted area. A resultant stampede kills a number of people, including a security personnel, which further prolonged the rescue and retrieval operation. After the fire service declared the area safe, 20 casualties were recorded. Per the records, 3 rescue staff and 11 intruders died as a result of the stampede, against 6 in the accident. The figures show more casualties may be recorded in an accident if people invade the scene and disrupt work. Group trainer Roxanne Richer is excited at the performance of the team.
I think mass casualty incident planning and management and response is a very new concept in Ghana. So we're all learning how we can better plan and respond, and in the end of the day, what we want to do more so than anything else is to mitigate or reduce the loss of lives and the loss of property.
Well, that was a simulation. This one was a real tragedy. It happened. And before we go, the family of Disu Kamaru, the groom who lost his life barely 24 hours after his wedding, has for the first time opened up to the media. The two lovebirds, we will recall, got married at an Islamic ceremony in Takrady in the Western region and decided to have a wedding party right here in Accra just this Sunday when they got involved in an accident that claimed the life of the groom. The father of the late Kamaru says though the death of his son is difficult to bear, they believe it all happened according to God's will. He recounts how he sits with his son usually to watch football together. Well, Nancy M. Fajradosi was at the family house and breaks us the mood there.
At the family house of the late Kamaru Diso, friends and well-wishers had gathered to sympathize with the family. The father, Major Retired Alhaji Diso, recounts what had transpired the very day when his son was involved in an accident on the day supposed to be the start of a new journey.
I took the lead to receive visitors, and my son and the bride and the two others, they were 4 in the car, and on their way for the reception, they were involved in an accident. And my son Kamal passed on the spot.
He recalls his football moments with his son, especially on days Real Madrid was playing.
My son is a Real Madrid fan. And in fact, any time Real Madrid is playing, all over the place. And because of my son, I also joined Real Madrid. So anytime Real Madrid is playing, he's in my room, we watch together. And I have lost, but God is in control.
The wife, Janatil Fedaus Yakubu, had little to say, except to leave it all to Allah.
Feeling great, by the grace of Allah. I thank God for giving me my life. Oh, what I can say, Allah knows best. Allah knows best. Thank you.
That's heavy. One of the heavy. Highest.
Nancy Emefa Jedose, JoyNews.
Wow, this is tragic to the extreme. I can only imagine how she and the rest of the family are feeling. What a loss.
A huge loss, not only to her, but also to the entire family.
Yeah.
It was a marriage in the first place that even never got started in the first minute.
Yeah. In the midst of the happiness. Anyway, our thoughts are with her. And of course, today we've got quite a lot to get through. So, fasten that seatbelt. Let's get started. The newspaper review is right after this.